I got the wintertime blues. Yes, I do. Yo, yo, it's SmallmouthCrush. We're back at it again. Back in the garage. I know. It sucks. But you know what? We're gonna learn how to organize our tackle today. It's gonna be pretty in depth. It's gonna get pretty crazy in here. It's all coming up. I'll tell you one thing that is like I'm not happy with the situation is my garage is so tiny, you guys. I can't even fit my Jeep Grand Cherokee in here, let alone a Honda Civic. Honda Civic won't even fit in this thing. All right? I mean, it's ridiculous how much. So I'm outside of Philadelphia, right? I've been out here for a couple of years, kind of stuck here, unfortunately. For a little while, I'm getting out of this ghetto, I guarantee it. Eventually I will. However, right now, like this house costs, I could have a 5,000 square foot home in Wisconsin, in New York, on the water for what this house is valued for with a garage this size. It's pathetic, you guys. I mean, real estate out here is stupid. You wouldn't even believe me how much. It's unreal. So I want to get out of the zone, but obviously I have a lot of tackle, and this is really the area that I do most of my organizing, right? I'll put a table out here, and I'll kind of tweak some baits and mess around with things and just come out here quite often and play with all the tackle and just, tinker around with stuff. But this is all I have to work with right here. So I got this big ass shelf here is basically going to hold all the storage containers that I have, and then of course this wall here is with the pegs with the baits, and then my containers here, and then a lot of this is just random stuff that I'm going to use, prop and drift socks, anchors down there, some more random stuff here, but that's it. I keep my rods over here, as organized as I possibly can, and we kind of go with it. Okay, a lot of you guys have been asking me, how do you keep your tackle organized? And I tell you what, it's a challenge. It's very time consuming. It takes a lot of discipline, and you have to want to have an organized system. I see too many people out there that have just their tackle and their gear just thrown everywhere, and they don't know a Cinco from a brush hog as far as what they have, and I just can't stand it. I mean, personally, I'm very well organized when it comes to my tackle and my equipment, and I need everything right. As you can see, we're going to go over all of my tackle and how I have everything set up, and I mean, it's pretty epic. I love it. Sometimes I just come out here and I just stare at it, putz around. It's like, I don't know, I'm just weird like that. So this year I decided to switch over all of my hard baits, any baits with treble hooks or metal, into a different plastic container. Because I just found out that running some big water as often as I do, I'm gonna get moisture in the compartments of my boat. Last year we had a lot of rain during practice, as well as a lot of the tournaments that I fished. I mean, it seemed like every event, except for maybe 2 or 3, and I fish a lot of tournaments, you had to have your rain jacket on. So things got wet, and it was very frustrating. I lose hundreds, thousands of dollars every year due to rusty hooks, rusty baits, just nasty spinnerbait blades that are stuck, you know what it is. You guys have all been there. Everyone has. And I don't know 100% if this is a solution or not, but it's probably the closest solution that I can come up with at this time. So I decided to go with Bass Mafia. They're known to have watertight, water-resistant boxes. There is a seal around these boxes, and I know a few other companies make them as well. I just went with Bass Mafia. I mean, they do a heck of a job at marketing, right? And so, you know, I bit, but I've been happy. I've been happy with the situation so far. In the past, I was using the Plano 3700s. Now, the deep for crankbaits, things like that. The only issue that I have so far is this middle compartment. They have it's wasted space. You should be able to fit some more baits in the middle here. Unfortunately, with the design, and I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I actually have lost some space switching over to these boxes. Now you have 4 snaps instead of 2, okay? There's 2 on each, you know. So you're what was that, 1.2 seconds? I know, you gotta be quick, right? It's probably gonna mess with me a little bit. I'm probably not gonna put them back. I'm just gonna click 1 and stick it in there. You know, during the tournament, I can see myself doing that. But then you got cleanup afterwards. And that's one tip that I want to give you guys right off the bat. When you finally put together a system, at the end of the day, you don't have to do it right away, because most of us don't. I don't. But you're going to have tackle and stuff laid all over the boat, wherever you're fishing. At the end of the day, you need to pick all that stuff up and put it back in the proper boxes. And I'm guilty of actually bringing it back and putting it into a basket here and let it pile up. And every month or so, I got to go through and just cut off line and, you know, look at what I have. And it's just, if I can stay on top of that instead of letting the stuff pile up, I think it's going to help me be more efficient as well. So that's how I keep all my hard baits. Then I label them all: miscellaneous cranks, square bills. I have Rapalas in here, rattle traps. So these are the ones that I use the most. So, and I know it's kind of crazy. I got a lot of different sizes, a lot of different. I mean, with rattle traps, there's one knockers and silent ones, and ones with, I mean, different brands that are really good. You can never have enough. So, do I throw all of these in one season? No, absolutely not. But I want to make sure I have the bait that I may need for the certain situation. So I do carry a lot with me. Now I do have backups. Like I have more rattle traps in another case. I believe it's downstairs. I'm going to show you guys that system as well. But that's like backup to these boxes. So all these boxes here come with me if I'm going to a new lake, because I don't know what I'm going to expect. Now, if I'm fishing on Lake Ontario in July, chances are, well, they're still coming with me, but I'm not going to probably throw a lot of rattle traps and square bills and, you know, Rapalas and stuff like that. So it's, you kind of have to pick your battles on what you take. And I've been getting better at that. I've been leaving some stuff in the vehicle. It all comes with me if I'm traveling though. So deep cranks, jerk baits, spy baits are in here as well. Walking baits. So those would be, you know, all your whopper ploppers and spooks, Sammies, things like that. And I can pretty much carry all the main colors I want. So, for instance, if I'm going up to Champlain or whatnot, you know, you got to have a black spook for sure. I got 2 of the super spooks in here that I know of. And then I'll have another 1 or 2 in the vehicle in my other storage bins as backup, you know, just because I can't fit all the different colors and stuff in these boxes. So I have 2 of each for the main baits. You know, crankbaits, you know, on the good colors, I'll have 6 or 8 of, you know, DT6 in a specific color that I like, or a DT10, or Bomber Fat A, or whatever the case may be. They're all going to be, you know, a handful of baits based on the conditions that I'm fishing, and based on my past experiences, how often I lose those baits. So I want to make sure I have enough of the colors in these containers on my boat. All right, when it comes to frog fishing, keep all my hollow bellies in here, but then I keep a handful of plastic frogs. I keep white and like a green with, I think that's Watermelon Party. the Zoom horny toad. The reason why I like this color, it's not specifically the color, it's actually the weight. The weight of that horny toad's a little bit heavier than other standard colors that they make. And so I like to throw that more often than some of the other colors. So these are just kind of like my go-to colors. It's not necessarily, obviously white, and this would be kind of your cloudier days, or if you want a darker bait type of bait that I would go with. I would love to be able to throw a black one, all black, but I just really like the density of that plastic. So that's why I go with that. And I don't want to carry a whole lot of them because I don't throw them too much. Now, if I'm heading down to Florida, if I'm heading to a lake that I know is going to be a pretty good horny toad bite, of course I'm going to bring bags and bags of these along so I have them. But if I'm just out messing around or heading to a new lake or a tournament up north where I know, I probably won't be doing any damage in a tournament on these baits, I just bring a small selection with me. All right, we got the hair jigs and micro jigs in here. Pretty compact, self-explanatory. Spinner baits and buzz baits are all locked up in these containers, all the different colors that I really throw on a regular basis. This is all stuff that I use on a regular basis here. Swim jigs, chatterbaits, all kinds of swim jigs, dirty jigs, all that. Jigs, right? So these are going to be your flipping jigs. Not necessarily football. No, football jigs are in here. So, I mean, and I have a lot more jigs down in the basement and stuff, but I mean, it gets too heavy. I just want, there's probably 5 or 6 a piece of the size and colors that I like to throw. And at least I have them with me. And then topwater, right? So this is going to be your Popeyes, your Ricos, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there you go. Everything's organized. I know exactly where everything is. So far, this system's working out. I love it. It's a great setup here. But it takes time to put everything back as well when you're done at the end of the day. That's something you have to do. Over here is my drop shot weights. Now, I'm a big time drop shotter, right? So I got a lot of different weights, 1/32 to 2 ounces in here, and anything and everything in between. This box I will take with me when I go to, say, the Great Lakes or a smallmouth fishery that I know I'm going to be drop shotting a lot. This whole box will come with me. Now it's quite heavy, so what I'll do, and I just got these labeled here. This is a new box for this year, waterproof. But when I'm fishing, say, the Chesapeake or just going somewhere where I probably won't be drop shotting a whole lot, but there's a possibility of it, then I'll have the select weights that I like to use in a smaller box to go in the boat. And this one, the big box, will stay at home. And that's also in the Bass Mafia containers. Tubes, right? My tube heads are all in another container as well, and I'm a tube fishing fool, so I got all kinds of sizes and styles in here. I'm not low, I actually have to pour some more. I might actually do a video on how I do that for you guys, if you're interested in learning a little bit about, creating some of your tackle, custom tackle, things like that. I experiment with it slightly. By any means, I'm not like a do-it-yourself type of guy at all. But when it comes to weights, tube heads, things like that, I'm somewhat efficient when it comes to that. Somewhat. Okay, so I also have, I don't know if you can see it, I might have to turn the camera a little bit. I have these 4 boxes here that are just like extra tungsten, extra pivot head. I mean, the tungsten box, it weighs 30 pounds. This just stays in the garage. I don't really go through this much tungsten in a fishing trip. So let me put this down. Like pivot heads. So my pivot heads, oh man, What is this? More tube heads in here. And then extra football heads. And that, I'll show you my terminal tackle, how that system is. I rarely bring these with me. This is just in the garage. I'll replenish stuff when it gets low out of these boxes. It's a fairly simple process, but it took me a while to get to this stage. And I'll just show you. It's hard to explain. I'll have to show you how it's set up. But treble hooks. So I keep all my treble hooks right here. And you know, this'll go with in the tow vehicle if I'm traveling, but you know, I mean, I'm not gonna probably bring it with me if I'm just out for the day, fun fishing or whatnot. So the Bass Mafia, this is my new terminal tackle storage system for hooks and sinkers. Yeah, so you got wide gap, you got super line hooks, you got flick shakes in here. What is all this stuff? Wacky rig, you know, all different sizes, all my tungsten, bobber stoppers, weight stoppers, Carolina rig weights, beads, swivels. I mean, that's kind of like your necessary stuff that you're going to want to have with you. And I'm hoping that this holds up this year. I mean, this is a pretty sturdy container. It's the only red one. I don't know what they call this one. I didn't want to have the red one on all these other ones because I want to be able to see what the bait is, what's in there. I just didn't like having it. But that one will work out really good for my terminal tackle. Now, this beast here, this is what I'm not so sure of. This is a system that I implemented this year. Actually got done doing it about 3 weeks ago. And what it is it's I think it's I don't know who makes this, Flambeau, right? The blue rusty, gimmicky inhibitor stuff. But whatever, stuff's already fallen out of it already. Come on. Okay, so in this system, I'm gonna set this down and walk you through it. But this does come in the boat with me. Let me go through this box with you guys, okay? So, as we open her up, you're gonna see a bunch of plastic bags. And that's because I'm running out of room for my system. But, I think this is gonna work out, okay? Just bear with me, follow me here. So in this box, in this big main box, I have little boxes here. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. I think it comes with another 2 here, but this is all individual tackle in this back compartment. So, my theory is, if it does get wet, this whole box will hopefully protect all this stuff, because this is the important stuff. This is what gets expensive when you have to start replacing it. Perhaps I can keep things a lot more drier with this system. So it's a lot more time consuming though, because if I want to grab something out of here, I have to know instantly where it is. And then I have to make sure to open it up and then take it out of bags, because each one of these baits are going to be in a bag as well. So, you follow me? I think it's the best system. So this box here is labeled Texas Rig Swim Bait. So these are all Texas rigged swim bait hooks with the weights on the bottom and the flashy swimmer stuff, things like that. Next one's going to be the shaky heads that I like to use a lot. They're going to be all stored in here. So a variety of different shaky heads. I see some different hooks, different sizes. A-rig. So okay, so this would be all like my Picasso swim bait heads, and so I label them all. So these are 1/16 4/0 hooks. See that? You can see what each and every one is. I know when I'm going to get low, how to reorder. I can just look at this stuff. I have a visual on all that all the time, so I know I'm getting low on. What happened down here? Come on, guys. Freaking Ned rigs. Oh, we got problems. No, it's just the clam box here came open. Not a big deal. All right, we'll set those aside. Where were we? So this is me spending hours. I will sit here and spend hours playing with my tackle. Like, this is a usual position for me. You know, I might not be all dressed up like this. I'm dressed up for you guys, by the way. But normally I'm out here just like grinding away, you know, making sure everything's organized, everything's in place. Let's get back to this. All right, what's this? Underspins. Okay, so these are like underspins and swim bait hooks, stuff like that. I'm packed, you know. I mean, you can't fit another bait in here, unfortunately, but at least I know where everything is. So that goes there, that goes there. Here I just have these little glass jars with, you know, BBs and rubber stoppers, you know, whatever. What's this? Pivot. Okay, so there's all my pivot heads. They're all right here. Football heads with weed guards. Okay, so if you're throwing a hula grub or you want to drag a plastic, or I mean, you can even throw some skirts on there if you want to make a jig, but that's what I use those for. Now back here is going to be my extra stuff that I don't really have a lot of space for, so I put them all in separate bags here. And so these are all like scrounger heads. I'll just pick some stuff. Okay, some extra flipping hooks. So these are like stuff that I'm going to use on a regular basis. You know, trailer hooks. So, and they're all packed. I bought these plastic bags. I think they're like 4mm. They're real thick and heavy bags in different sizes. I wanted to make sure that they had the hook here. If I wanted to hook them on a pig, I could do that. And so I got a variety of these. These things have been a lifesaver. Here's some more Ned heads. Just ones with weed guards, things like that. And I just stuff them down in there. You know, I don't know what half this stuff. Okay, so owner. Okay, so those are the downshot hooks I've been experimenting with this year. Just try to keep everything organized in there. Now I can't get it back in place. So I mean, that's it's gonna be a struggle. You know, at the end of a tournament or end of a fishing trip, stuff's gonna be laying like this. I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? It'll be laying all over the boat like this, unless I take some time to put it back. And I know me, based on personal experience, I'll end up out here in the garage again at night organizing this stuff, which, as long as it's put back before the next trip. Here's some shaky heads that I like to use a lot, so they're on top. My drop shot hooks, they're going to be on top right here. You know, my Kitech jig heads, I like to throw those small swim baits on those, so they're right at top. These are all split shots in there. I don't even know where this stuff goes now. So my Alabama rigs, I'll put my A rig right here. Well, I got a couple up here just dangling around. They're probably rusty because they've been laying in the bottom of a boat, which they are. So all my A rigs, I try to keep them in these tubes and right in here. I mean, it's a cluster, right? But it's the best system I found so far. I know some guys run the plastic containers for their A-rigs. I haven't used them. I wonder if those would work out good as well. Okay, so whenever I'm going to a new lake and I have all the plastic boxes with me, and I know there's going to be a couple key things that I want to take with me, I'll take this this canvas bag right here, and if we just open her up, it's just more of the common stuff that, you know, I might throw. Like if I'm going up smallie fishing, this is what this bag is for. It's just some extra baits that are going to come in handy for me in some of those smallie waters that I know I'm probably not going to throw it on the Chesapeake or any of these largemouth bodies of water, but they'll all just all be in this bag ready to go, so at least I don't forget anything. All right, guys, I'm going to go over the plastics, how I keep my plastics. A lot of people take their plastics and keep them in the same bags and throw them in the boat, and maybe they put them in big duffel bags and sort them out that way. Whatever works for you works. I just really like to put the plastics that I can in larger plastic boxes. And so, for instance, drop shot, right? I'm big into drop shot, and this is going to have all my confidence colors, all the baits I'm going to need for smallmouth when I'm drop shotting. So that's all right here. And if I'm getting low, I can easily see that I'm low, and I can reorder. Chances are, if I'm traveling in a tournament, I'll have a bunch of these baits in a backup storage bin in the tow vehicle in case I do run out. But for a day trip or whatnot, I'm good. Just throw the box in the boat. So we got brush hogs, we got jig trailers, tidal water box, which is nice. I use this if I'm going to the Chesapeake for the day. I don't want to carry all these different, 300 pounds of tackle with me. I'm just going to grab a tidal water box. Jig trailers, hula grubs, Kitex, 2.8s, 3.3s, finesse worms, flukes, lizards, grubs, tornadoes, big worms, you name it. Two smaller boxes here are just going to be my topwater plastics. That's going to be like, it's for school and smallmouth basically. I don't want to get into it because I'm going to do a video on it. That's for another time. And then we have Bitsy tubes. So this is like a smaller finesse tube box I'll carry. We got flipping tubes, swim jig trailers, Senkos. And I mean, here, let's just look at the Senkos, guys, because again, I keep everything basic, right? It's going to be black and blue and green pumpkin in 4-inch, 6, 7-inch, and 5-inch, right? I mean, that's maybe some watermelon gold, baby bass. I try to just stick to the basics, but I have everything covered. Right there is all the Senkos I'm going to need for a day trip. If I'm blowing through that many Senkos, yeah, maybe if you're on a really hot bite and all they want is green pumpkin, I'll probably want to make sure I have a couple extra bags of green pumpkin with me. But if I'm traveling any distance, I'm going to have a storage container full of Senkos to restock these as I get low. Kitex. So these are going to be the bigger Kitex swim baits, right? They work great in those packages, but I don't have enough room to. All these had their own packages. They would just be bags and bags of stuff laying all over the place. So instead, all the colors are laid out here in the main sizes I like to throw in Kitex. Again, yeah, if I'm going to be A-rigging it and I know that there's a heck of a swim bait bite going on, I'm bringing a lot of extra Kitex with me that I can restock this up. So everything's real simple. Flipping baits, swim baits, bed baits, miscellaneous. So these are like stupid plastics. So sometimes, especially like if I go to Wisconsin and I'm fishing a lake where it's during the spawn or right when they're up shallow, I'm gonna burn through. You'll catch 200-300 fish, right? And I'm gonna be burning through plastics like crazy. So I mean, I got some off-brand. I think this is a Berkeley. I don't even know. It's a creature bait, right? I'm not gonna throw an expensive beaver when I can just rig this thing up and throw it at a bass and he'll bite it, right? Generic Senko type worms are in here. Yeah, here's some old Gander Mountain 4-inch Senkos that don't sink at all, but they're great on a drop shot, especially during the spawn. Here's some 3-inch. Here's some retarded looking Strike King gobies. I mean, just stuff that the fish is going to bite it regardless, but it's not something I'm going to throw when a paycheck's on the line. But I don't like to burn up all my good plastics if I don't have to. So flipping baits, that's another thing. A very small assortment of flipping baits in here. Black and blue, green pumpkin, maybe, what is that? It's a really good color. Can't think of it right now. rage tails, baby rage, right? All the different types of flipping baits that you're gonna need. Chigga craw, beavers. So this is my flipping bait. Now, yeah, if I get on a pretty good punching bite and I'm burning through black and blue sweet beavers, you're gonna be dang well sure I'm gonna have a whole bunch of those waiting in the truck when I get back. So I don't have to go start looking them at, you know, Randy's Discount Tackle down the road or the nearest Bass Pro Shop's 150 yards or 150 miles away. You're gonna wanna make sure you have extra tackle with you when you are traveling. And so that's what a big blue bin is for. And I'll actually take bags and I'll label them. So I'll take extra black and blue sweet beavers, I'll put them in a big bag, and I'll throw them in there. Green pumpkin, Senkos, crosstail shads, extra gajo baits, all that's gonna be in there. And who knows, maybe I won't touch any of it. Chances are I don't, I normally don't. I don't burn through this much tackle, even this much plastic, even in a week of pre-fishing, typically. But you never know. The tube, right? Tube boxes, specialty tubes, regular tubes. I like to throw tubes, so I'm gonna have a variety of tubes with me. Gobies, right? This is so cool. So I got the go-to goby box and the regular goby box. Now, if I'm going to a lake, if I'm going to Lake Ontario, guess what? I'm bringing both boxes, but I really just need to bring this box because this is the only box I'll probably use. But if I'm going to a lake that I have no clue what the fish are keyed in on, or a new body of water, or if I just want to experiment maybe, I'm gonna take out the goby box and take a look. So let's dig into the goby box. What do we got? Oh man, oldies but goodies. So the Zoom goby, smoke purple, remember that one? I don't even know if they make those anymore. I should start using these on a regular basis. I just don't get around to it. Then we have like an Erie Darter, right? So the poor boy stuff. I mean, just some stuff that probably I should use more often. I just don't. I don't do it anymore. And then of course, go-to gobies is gonna be all of Will's favorite colors, my favorite colors. Gajo baits, spirit shads, sizes, everything I use except I can't show you that color, right? That's the secret color. Will at Gajo Baits, he gets mad at me when I show the secret color, so we're gonna keep that secret for now. So don't be sending me hate mail, okay? Send your hate mail to Will at Gajo Baits, not me. And then really, I mean, there's not a whole lot more to the system once everything's in place here. Of course, I'll have a plastic box for my line. This will be 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 20 for leaders and whatnot. I'll have a box with, you know, markers and scents in here, some super glue. Throw that in the boat. Early season, I'll throw pork on my jigs. So I got a container full of pork, and then in here is just I believe this is all my So this is the what do you call it? The gulp stuff, right? For smallmouth fishing, drop shotting, Berkeley gulp, which I don't use a whole lot. I used to. I should get back in the game with the Berkeley gulp for sure. But that's it, guys. This is my system. Again, everything goes in these boxes. When they get low, I know to come over here and refill. When this gets low, I know to rebuy. When these get low, I rebuy. When I go traveling, I'll take a blue bin and I'll grab a bunch of, you know, what are these? Finesse Junebug chartreuse tails. Okay, that looks like a tidal water, James River type of bait. I'll stick it in a bag, put it in the bin, and then head on down the road. And hopefully, I won't have to stop at Randy's tackle store and pick up a bunch of expensive baits that I don't really need because I have everything I need right here. Okay, so I also have this really small little utility room in the basement where I keep all my Overflow stuff. This is stuff I probably won't ever touch, but I don't want to sell it. I'm a pack rat when it comes to fishing tackle. So every single one of these bins, and as far back as you can see, has baits in them. I mean, it's pretty pathetic, but I love it. So, you know, every once in a while, every couple of years, I'll go digging through and I'll find like, oh my God, look at this thing. Or I'll be like, why did I buy that? Why do I have that bait? So, I mean, like I got sick and tired. You know, I guess there's some waders here. I mean, but all of these are all just plastics, right? I mean, here's just a Overflow box that I just stopped putting. Like, I don't even know what this is. Let's take a look. Let's see here. It's hard to do both here. Okay, so we got some gamblers. Looks like just all kinds of miscellaneous plastic baits and stuff. I don't know, I probably won't use that. Oh, man. You know, you just never know. I mean, here's some old storage boxes that I've had over the years. But everything's organized. I at least have an idea where everything is. Tackle warehouse shirts. I mean, I wouldn't have to. I don't know. They give you them free when you buy stuff from them. I wouldn't even have to like do laundry for the whole summer here. But I just collect them, I guess. Leave them in there for now. So let's head back upstairs. Oh, look at that. Way up in the cracks there. I got some trophies up there even. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I just know. You know what? Actually, I'm going to show you guys the first trophy I ever got fishing. I know it's third. I took third place. Let me try to get it down here. I can't get up there. Hold on. Jeez. I think I cracked my skull open. I hit it on that, whatever this thing is. What is that thing? A water heater safety tank. I don't even know what that's for. Water heater safety tank. I never heard of such thing. I suck at tools. All right, where were we? Oh, yes, so this is the Upper Lakes Fishing Club 1989 Kids Fishery, largest fish, no doubt, third place. There you go. We're going to put that right there on top of the water heater. It kind of hurt. Bumped my head there a little bit. Bam! There you guys go. All you need to know about organizing your tackle. I don't know if I rambled on. I probably did. I got like really winded here, and I probably went off on some tangents. I don't even know. My head's just crazy. I've been trying to get ready. I got this big outdoor show for 10 days. I'm heading down until I got to do some seminars and work some booths and stuff. So I wanted to get this video out, and I think it's the right time. Everyone's probably tinkering with their tackle, getting ready to get ready for next season. And I hope you guys learned something, a thing or two. Hey, I want to know what type of storage systems you guys use. So in the comments below, let's get some dialogue going. Let's get some conversation going, even with some of the other subscribers. And let's find out what are some systems that really work for you guys. I'm really interested in finding that out. And I'm going to do a video on my rod selection. I have about 30, 35 rods for bass, all set up, all for a specific reason. And I think you guys will find some value in that as well. And maybe it'll help you when if you're looking at purchasing a few new rods for this coming season. Maybe I can help take some of the guesswork out of that for you. But that's going to be a great video. I'm looking forward to putting that together. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. And as always, until next time, we'll see you in the water, but we'll probably see you in the garage before we see you on the water. Does that even make sense? I don't know.